Hello Year 5 and welcome to your grammar lesson. Today is Tuesday the 9th of February and we are going to be having a little look at prepositions today. So if you are not using Teams, you need to make sure you have a pen and some pencils. If you are using Teams, make sure that you've been able to log on this morning so you can complete the worksheet at the end of the video. I'm going to share my screen and let's have a look at our lesson for today. So our LO is to identify prepositions, and our big question is, what is a preposition? So I'd like you to have a think about that as we go through. What is a preposition? What do you think it is? Okay, let's have a look. A preposition is a word that tells you where or when something is in relation to something else. So here are some examples. Before, near, alongside, inside, at, outside, under, in, after, around, and on. So all of these words tell us where something is or when something is happening in relation to something else. Let's have a think about that. So we could say, before you come to school, you need to wash your hands. So that tells us that before school is when we need to do the action of washing hands. So we've got two things, school, washing hands, and we do the washing hands before we go to school. Under, we could say the cat is under the mat. So cat and mat, and it's not the mat that's under the cat, it's the cat that's under the mat. So it depends on where that word is to tell you where it is in relation to things. Around, Miss Morvenna went around the park. It's not the park went around Miss Morvenna. Around tells us that it's Miss Morvenna who went around the park. So it's giving us a relationship between two things, links two things together. On Wednesday, we are going to be doing an RE lesson. That tells you the date that's happening and what we are doing. That's a when preposition. See if you can spot which ones are when prepositions and which ones are where prepositions. Which ones are when and which ones are where. Please could you make me either a table with when and where or two mind maps of when and where and pick out all the ones for each one. So for example, I might make a table, put when and where, or I could do some mind maps, when and where. And tell me which ones are when and which ones. If you're using Teams, that's fine. Please just get some paper and have a go. If you're not using Teams, then you can do this on the piece of paper you've already got in front of you. So you might need to pause to go and grab some paper. This is just a quick warm up to see if we know our when and our where words. You can do a mind map or you can do a table. Oh. So put where in one side and when in the other. I'm just going to delete the mind maps because it's probably easier for me to pop them in the table. So let's have a look. Before you come to school, before you get on the train, well, those tell us when. We're doing it before. We're not doing it on a Tuesday. We're doing it before. We're not doing it at the park, which will tell us where it's at the park. We're doing it before. What about alongside? Alongside a Tuesday? Well, that doesn't make sense. So it needs to be a where. It's telling us that the bag is alongside the pencils. It's giving us a relationship of where something is. And alongside means next to. See if we can spot any other ones. Inside. Well, that tells us where, doesn't it? We know it's inside our bag or inside the house. At Miss Morvenna's house, at the park. So that's a where one. Near, that tells us where. Near something or near to something, that tells you where it is. Outside is a where. There's lots of where ones here. Under tells us where something is. In, that tells us where it is. It's in the bag. Around. After, now that tells us when, doesn't it? We've got before, so when something happens, the start, and after, when something's already happened. On, that's a when, isn't it? On Wednesday, on a Tuesday. There's lots of where ones and a few when ones. So these are how you would use these words. Okay, let's do an I Spy using prepositions. So can you have a go at finding the prepositions here? We've got time, before, near, tower, up, to, under, inside, and green. You should find all the prepositions. You can pause the video now. Well done if you got before, near, under, and inside. Green is a colour, so it's a noun. To is a number, which is a noun. Tower is a noun. Time is a noun, and up is not a preposition. Okay, let's have a go at seeing if we can find the prepositions in these sentences. The daughter waited beside the shop until her mum was finished shopping. Where do you think the preposition is? Well done if you thought it was beside the shop. That's telling us where the daughter waited. What about the next one? The car went through the tunnel. We know car's a noun, we know tunnel's a noun. It has to be the, went through, and the. Or through is actually our preposition because it tells us how the car went into the tunnel. It went through it, didn't it? That's a how one. The dog dropped the bone from his mouth. The dog dropped the bone from his mouth. Oh, 1 second. That's not sharing there by accident. The dog dropped the bone from his mouth. So it is the dog dropped the bone from his mouth. That's what he did. The bone has dropped from his mouth. Okay. If you are on Teams, your task will be on there, but it is this and it's on a Word document. I want you to underline the prepositions in the first 3 sentences and then write a sentence using each of these prepositions. So you need to write me a sentence that starts with or has under in it, a sentence that has beside in it, a sentence that has beneath in it, and a sentence that has through in it. So altogether, you should be underlining the 3 prepositions in the first part and then writing me 4 sentences. I don't want to see 1 sentence written or all of them in one. I want to see 4 separate sentences with the preposition in each. So for example, if I was doing the preposition at, I would make my sentence 4 o'clock, Lindsay at 4 o'clock, Lindsay is coming around 40. So I'm editing my sentence, making sure it makes sense. That tells us when, at. Then I'd move on to my next sentence. So if my next one needs to be near, then I might put near the bus stop. That is luscious. Spelling, checking my punctuation for my expanded noun phrase, and that tells us where. Near the bus stop is where the park is. Then I do my next one. So you need to write me 4 sentences, 1 with under in, 1 with beside, 1 with beneath, and 1 with through, and then you need to underline the first 3. So coming back to our big question, what is a preposition? What is a preposition? As a bonus point, could you write me a sentence at the end of your team sheet of what is a preposition? I'll be checking that you've watched the video all the way through. What is a preposition? So you can say from your learning, tell me what one is. Okay, I hope you have fun looking at the prepositions. If you get stuck, then please watch the video again to check, and I will see you all soon. Bye.